What's up guys, it's Jeffrey, and in today's video we are going to be doing basically a weekly outlook analysis video. So what I'm looking for next week and going into April. So first things first, if we look at the dollar index on a daily time frame, I have this blue line here and this blue line, so I can actually just mark them out. So we're basically in a consolidation right now between these two levels. So we've got this range high and this range low, and we've just traded in between there. So I got this this gray line right here, the dotted line. That is the 50% retracement of the range. So I'll show you real quick if I draw this out. So you can see that's 50% of this range. So the only reason I do that is just to kind of get a clearer picture of which side are they going to reach for sooner. So since it's beneath this, it's indicating to me that it wants to come back below here. However, it may just retrace a little bit lower under here a little bit and start to find support, because this was acting as support before. So you can see support, came back down, acted as support, traded higher, and we've traded into it again, but we've pulled off a little bit for Friday's close. So we'll see what we get for Monday's trading, whether it decides to come lower and then reject and go higher, or is it just going to open, is market going to open and it start trading lower. But what I would like to see unfold is I'd like to see price come down below these lows. So that's 88.50. So it's about 100 pips to the downside. Now, if we start to find support here and start trading higher, then I am going to look for this range high to be taken, so 91. And then ultimately, I'm going to look for it to trade back up into this level of support, which could potentially be a newfound resistance level. So it may want to trade back above here and find some resistance here. So let's actually mark this out. So ideally what I want to see happen is break below here. So I want to see it break below, whether that be on Sunday or Monday's trading. Just depends on what broker you have, if you have a Sunday candle or not. So if we can see a breakdown and then a retest of this, so this old support would be newfound resistance. I'd be looking for it to find resistance and ultimately trade lower below here. Now, if we start to trade up, then what I'm going to be looking for is if we can break above this up candle right here, so that's 90. So if we get above this level here, like this, then I would more than likely be switching my bias. I just have to see what price action we get on a lower time frame. For sure, if we break above this level, so 90.50, if we break above that, then we're definitely going to want to go to 91 and ultimately up here to 91.75. I just have to see what price action we get if this candle gets traded through, and if we start finding some support here, then it could be a logical trade up to this level. But I would just have to see what we get. But for sure, if we get above this level, you can look for a retest like this. And then ultimately trading higher like that. So it doesn't really matter which way the market goes, because we're prepared for both sides. And that's one thing that my mentor taught me, was it doesn't really matter which way the market's going to go. Just make sure you're prepared for either direction. That's why in my videos I try teaching and explaining, working off of higher time frame levels and also having an idea behind what you think is going to happen in the market. Because if you don't have an idea, then you're not really going to know what you're looking at. So these are the two things that I would like to see happen and expect to see happen, preferably with the downside being the scenario that we get. But we just ultimately have to see, if this is a scenario that unfolds. But ideally, like I said, downside for the dollar index. So if my higher time frame analysis is bearish for the dollar, that would mean we're going to be looking for higher prices and foreign currency. So for example, if we go over to right here to euro dollar, I'm going to be looking for higher prices in euro dollar simply because we've had lower prices and we are expecting lower prices in the dollar index. So looking at euro dollar, so just all these lines are on the chart is essentially what I do that I made the video about, right? I said mark out all your higher time frame support and resistance levels. So all of these lines are just my support and resistance levels for my chart. I use red for resistance and blue for support. That way, if I'm on a lower time frame, like a 15-minute, I know that if it's a red line, it is now, old resistance, now possibly turning support on a lower time frame. So just to get a clearer picture, that's how I do it. For this video though, I am going to go ahead and take these lines off. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an example so you can see how mine look and have an expectation of what yours should look like as well. So for euro dollar, I am expecting this low that we made right here. Whoa, that's big. Alright, so this low, I'm expecting this to hold. And the reason why is because if you look, we had a low right here and then we made a high. So let me actually alright. So if you look, we had a low here, and then we came up, we made a high, and then we made a higher low, right? But right here, we failed to get back above here. So that indicates, okay, the market could want to reverse and go down for a bit. So that's exactly what it did, right? It pulled back down, but it never broke this low here. So technically, this here was just a swing low that, they just used to trap traders long right here. So a lot of people were buying this and they're just trapping the traders in the marketplace. Since it never made that higher high, we know that they're not going higher yet. It has to prove to us that it wants to go higher, right? So this leg broke above these highs. It proved that it wanted to go higher. Now, since it hasn't broken below this low, the bullish bias is still in play. So what are we looking for going forward is we got a low, a high, higher low. We're going to be looking for a higher high, right? And this is also in line with our bearish dollar bias. So we'll go ahead and make this black. So this is a scenario that I'm basically looking for to unfold with euro dollar, right? Because we got a low, high, lower high, higher low, higher high. Now, how would we get on board a trade for this is, first thing is, if we see this low break, I'm not going long. I'm not going long until it confirms to me that it wants to go back higher, right? So in the meantime, I'm expecting this level to hold. So let's drop down So a lower time frame, so we can figure out how we'd want to enter this. Alright, so real quick on a daily though, we know this is the next level that they're going to be reaching for. Why would they be reaching here? Because it is a previous resistance level on the daily time frame. Also a swing high. And above swing highs are stop orders where people were selling, so they take price above that to clear the money out and to basically, take out anybody who had their stop loss above this high, or this high. So these are the levels that I'm looking for on a higher time frame basis for euro dollar to hit on the upside, right? So once we break above this candle here, this gives me confirmation that it's going to want to go higher. So before I even enter a trade on this, before I'm even buying it at all, I want it to break above this level here. So 123.87. So call it 123.85. If it breaks above 123.85, and I want it to close above it, not just come up here and then wick down and trade lower. I want it to be a strong candle closing above it. If we get that, then that suggests, okay, they're going to want to go higher. Long term, I'm aiming for these highs up here. Okay? So longer term, this is what I'm looking for over here, coming in at 125.20. Right? So that's my longer term objective. That is 168 pips from where we're at right now. So if we break above this and then get a retest, right, this would confirm our break in market structure. Get a retest, and then ultimately look for these highs to be taken out. But I have to see this break above here first on a strong up candle, right? And then I'm going to enter the trade on a down candle of a retest of this level. So what that would look like is, I'm going to actually make this a different color so I know what it is. Alright, so if I drop down to an hourly time frame now, I can see, well, let's get this out the way. Alright, we'll just ignore this big blue blob. The purple line is this level that I want to see break, right? So if that breaks above it, then okay, we have a break in market structure, right? Because we have a low, a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Higher low, high, higher low, high, higher low, high. Expect a higher low to form, right? And then we're gonna, I don't care what it does down here, right? I don't care what it does at all, because I'm not looking to enter the trade down here. I want to see it break above here first, above the purple line, right? So I'm watching this on an hourly time frame, on a 15-minute time frame, during those session times that I mentioned in my video, and I'm going to get in on this retest here. Why? Because I know that market structure has been broken, so we should get, we should find some support here and then want to ultimately go higher. So even if you just set this as your first target, that next daily high, that's 25 pips. That's a good daily or weekly objective. If you're just starting out, that's a great weekly objective. 25 pips, call it a day. You don't have to do anything else for the week. You've got 25 pips, and exponentially that'll grow over time. So this is what I'm looking for on euro dollar. If we take a look at GBP USD, we're also expecting higher prices on this, which we have seen so far. Again, these are my higher time frame levels, so I'm just going to go to a blank chart. And I am looking for these highs up here at 142.75. Alright, 142.75. The only reason I chose that level is because it's these highs. Ultimately, they could run out this wick, but I'm mainly shooting for this level because we got a lot of resistance around it. So that's the next level I'm aiming for on the upside. In terms of getting in for a possible entry for this, I do consider this a break in market structure, so this is a good example to show you guys while we have the chart up. So where is, alright, grab my little circles. So we have a low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So any potential higher low is a entry point, right? You could have gotten in here, you could have gotten in here, you could have gotten in here, you could have gotten in here. But for me, since this is the previous swing that we were in, and it was making a high, low, lower high, lower low, but then we started making higher highs, lower highs, higher high, lower high, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. That's a tongue twister. But yeah, so once we broke above this level, that indicates to me now we've got a break in market structure on a daily time frame. So that means, yes, the buyers are here. You know, they're trying to take price higher. Ultimately, where are they going to go? To our higher time frame level that we have marked out, right? About 140 pips away. So like I was saying, any potential down candle is, you know, a good potential entry opportunity because it's forming, you know, higher lows. So will it want to trade back, you know, down here into this down candle, making another higher low, then going higher? Well, we don't really know until at least the market opens. So we're going to want to see on Sunday, do we just automatically start trading higher, or do we start trading lower, find some support, and then trade higher? So we just have to see what we get when the market opens. And of course, I'll keep you guys updated in the Telegram channel as well as the Facebook group. But yeah, Euro and GBP are the two pairs that I'm going to be watching this week. Like I said, looking for further upside on both of them. That is if we get a weaker dollar index. And real quick, last one I wanted to talk about is I made the analysis video for USD CAD on Thursday, I believe. And let's see. Yeah, so this is Friday's trading. I made the analysis video on Thursday, and I marked out this level here. And I said, this level, if we get a break below it, then I'm going to look for it to retest and then go long. And then go short, sorry. So we can only see this on a lower time frame. So right now I'm on a 15-minute time frame. If you go down to a 5-minute, you know, it looks even clearer. But if you're on an hourly time frame, you can't really see what we outlined there, right? That's why you have to have the higher time frame levels marked out, and then you refine it by a lower time frame. So that's all I did here, and this was basically just, you know, a level that was acting as support, came back, acted as resistance, traded back above it, acted as support a little bit here, and then traded lower, ultimately acting as resistance, selling off for about 100 pips. So that planned out pretty well. Going forward, I still see this pair continuing lower, mainly because if you look at like a CAD futures chart or something, it looks like it wants to go higher, right? It looks like it wants to keep going higher. But looking at the dollar index, it looks like it wants to go lower. So for USD CAD, that means stronger CAD, but weaker dollar. Since the dollar is in the front of this currency pair, it's going to respect what the dollar does, right? So this pair is bearish, which supports our stronger Canadian dollar, because if this is going down, that means the Canadian dollar is stronger than the US dollar. So we have multiple things lining up, with these pairs, that we've got GBP and Euro that want to go higher, and USD CAD that wants to go lower, along with a stronger Canadian dollar to strengthen that, and then also a weaker dollar index to support it as well. So going forward, what we could get is possible retracement entry, right? So if we draw the fibs, we got the 70.5 and the 79% retracement level here, which also would come back into this up candle before the big down move, right? So that was a possible entry on Friday, which also could line up to be another possible entry early on in the week. So we could see something like this unfold. It come up, hit that, make a low. We want to see it fail to make a higher high, make a lower high, and then start trading lower, right? Ultimately coming back below these lows. So I'm not sure if we're going to get that, all the way up here, but that is a potential scenario that we're going to be watching for going forward with USD CAD. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, but yeah, looking for overall bearish USD CAD, stronger Euro dollar, stronger GBP US dollar. So that pretty much wraps up today's video for the weekly outlook. Let's see, tomorrow I am uploading a video that is going to be a series that I'm making. It is understanding the Forex markets, and part 1 is going to be released tomorrow. Part 2 will be released Monday, and then it'll go on from there. And also, last thing is, I am going to be doing a live session. I'll probably stream it live in the Facebook group. I haven't decided yet. I'll keep you guys updated and let you know, but it's probably going to be Tuesday or Wednesday, more than likely for New York session. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be Tuesday, maybe around 7, maybe around this news release. So maybe like 7 a.m. Tuesday. I'll post in the group to confirm what the actual time and day will be, so you guys will know. But yeah, other than that, I'll keep you updated in the group or the Telegram chat. If you're not already joined in the Telegram chat, look at the top of the page. I pinned the post with the Telegram channel, and you could join there for free. And I'm going to share my analysis, and you'll get the notifications to your phone, so it'll be pretty easy. If you have any questions or anything, feel free, just hit me up, and I'll respond. Thanks, guys.